So I think, as we know, managing in the moment, we would love to have everything be perfect and to have all the pieces come together like a puzzle, like a light bulb, and have that light bulb go off and have everything fit. Well, that's not, as you all know, as managers, necessarily the case. However, it doesn't mean that everything is lost and we can't find a way to bring the pieces of the puzzle together. So this reminded me that perhaps as we're here on Monday, have we been waiting for Friday, or are we waiting for Friday to arrive? And we're forgetting that Monday is here and there's many moments in front of us. So the beauty of what we're going to be working with today is the fact of I can still be in Monday, work with the way Monday is, and have Friday in the forefront, but that I can still honor Monday because there's a lot of space. There's Tuesday and there's the other days ahead of us. So we're missing out on what Monday is offering us if we're always looking to the future, which the brain will always do when it's designed to plan and prepare and be organized. But we want to remember that our best work will happen when we can stay right here and not continuing to project into the future. We can look forward to it, pull the reins back, and grab that steering wheel and say, Monday is where I'm at. And how do we do that? Because when we're trying to manage a lot, the brain is going to go in kind of the future, maybe get a little bit frenetic with what it's trying to do, but we can come back so that we get that clarity for right here, right now. We can feel the steering wheel and we can take the steering wheel back. Our brain is busy. Our brain takes a lot of energy to keep it going, which makes sense. But no wonder that we have a brain that can get pretty busy. I was going to say frenetic, hopefully not frantic, but we have about 60,000 thoughts a day. But what's more interesting is that only 2% of them are true. And what that means is true for experiencing the reality and the task in front of us. Of course, we have to plan, prepare, predict what might be coming down the road. But the notion is the other 98% of the time, we can be having a lot of self-critical thoughts, or we can be thinking of the future, which is usually anxiety producing. Or we're going to the past, the would have, should have, could have, right? And regret. So how can we come back to experiencing this moment is really what we want to do, because as the body settles, the mind can settle. So that's like a little bit of a inkling of where we're going to be going in the next several moments that we're here. Also, 250 miles per hour is the speed that some of these neurons can interact, and we can have over 100 billion connections in our brain. So if you're saying, yeah, that's a lot, it is a lot. And that's why, we want to make sure that when we do our reset, we're giving our brain a chance. It will give the brain a chance to reset as well, too. I love this quote by James Joyce. Mr. Duffy lived a short distance from his body, right? How often do we know that we're really thinking hard, we're in our head, we're doing a lot, and it's like we're just not even aware of our bodies, what it feels like. Are we sitting? Are we standing? When we spend so much time thinking, right, and just planning, and doing all that we have to do and aren't aware of our body, there can be signals that come up in our body that say to us, oh, I do need to take a break. So it's like we have to be the ones to honor the fact that slowing down and doing some self-care for our brain is one of the most important things we can do. The body is our vehicle for awakening. It's what we live in through our five senses. Coming back into our body gives the mind a landing place, gives the brain a landing place into the right here and the right now in this very moment. So we can be present with it and we can be more productive. The breath is always present, right? It's always present. It's accessible because we have it right here, right now. And one of the biggest and coolest things about it for me is that it's adjustable. So when I talk about the breath being adjustable, what I mean is that, right, we can control our inhale and we can control our exhale, right? So it's like a blossoming. That metaphor has really worked well for me. It's a blossoming underneath our collarbones and throughout our body, our rib cage. So it's a filling. It's a receiving. And what are we receiving? We're receiving the fresh oxygen to support all the energy that our brain is using that I shared with at the beginning. If you think about it, the brain can use, 20-30% of the energy that we actually take in. So it's very much like the oxygen on a fire, right? If we don't have the oxygen going to the brain, into our cells, we can't burn fuel. So like on a campfire, right? If you don't have oxygen, the flame isn't going to get started, or it's going to get smothered. So the oxygen is fueling the brain and all those neural pathways and the speed of them in which they travel. So the exhale, we go back down into that metaphor of, okay, so we've expanded into the blossom, but then it goes back down into more that petal mode, that budding mode, where it's released, right? It's released, and then it's letting go, releasing what we don't need. I'd like to also add here, when we inhale, we're activating the part of our nervous system that energizes, right? Because you can imagine we're filling it, we're giving it fresh oxygen, it's ready, it's like a full tank, it's ready to go. And when we exhale, we're letting go. And the exhale is the other part of the nervous system, which helps us relax. So I love this notion that it's almost like a parachute. So as we exhale, we can release, and we can allow, if we can, right, continue to allow the body to experience that release and letting go, giving the space for the next inhale to fill. So if we don't let go, and that's the beauty of the breath, and one of the lessons that we can almost take away with, if I don't let go, I can't receive the next moment, right? If I don't let go of this breath, which, like I said, we have to, we can't fill. We're designed to fill it again and come back for that freshness and the energy. But once it's been delivered, we need to let it go again. So for anyone that's feeling a little bit sleepy, you can make a point to increase your inhale, right? Just have some nice deep inhales. For anyone which we're going to go more towards the calming of the nervous system, we're going to make a point to lengthen the exhale. So why don't we begin with a few practices, and I'm going to play my singing bowl just because we can just honor it as a notification that here we are right now. We're all gathered together with the intention of learning new content, experiencing something maybe new, something maybe familiar. All right, so here we go. So since our body is the vehicle for awakening, it's actually the container that our breath breathes. So let's check in with our body right here and now. Maybe it's the first time that you've just paused enough to notice all parts of your body and what they're doing, no judgment. So we'll take an opportunity, if you're sitting, maybe bringing your feet to the floor, just taking a moment to allow your feet to rest. And this is a practice in itself, allowing your feet to just rest on top of the floor. We're wired to move, and if we've got a lot going on, the nervous system probably has us a little bit tight and ready to go, right? Ready to take action. So let's just see if we can let our feet go, maybe lifting the toes, releasing the toes, right? Feeling the whole soles of your feet resting on the floor. And let's take an inhale here. And on the exhale, feel your feet, perhaps your legs, perhaps releasing, coming a little more relaxed into your chair. Feet, the floor is there. The floor is supporting your feet. So let's take another inhale. And on the exhale, all of this is through the nose, right? Through the nose, let's feel the whole lower half of our torso sitting, resting on the chair. Again, the body might be motivated to act when there's a lot to do, but let's trust. Let's do that one more time, and inhale through the nose and then exhale through the nose. Feel the chair supported by the floor, the feet supported by the floor, just almost softening, allowing the support, receive the support. Now, for a moment, let's take a nice inhale. Imagine that you just want something to let go of, right? So you take an inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, just either a sigh through the mouth or an exhale through the nose. Okay, deep exhale. So taking a deep inhale. And maybe there's a shoulder roll, just letting go, releasing, allowing any heaviness to just be. So the shoulders droop. Maybe doing that one or two more times. I'll just sit here. I'll do it with you. You know, we hear sometimes animals doing that when they arrive on their couch or they arrive to where they're going. It's just like this sigh of, okay, I can let go. I can allow things to be heavy. There's nothing for me to carry with them. So that would be more of a quick release, right? And yeah, just a simple quick release of, oh, I need to let go of this right here and now. Maybe there's some movement. So the natural release can be done in a couple of ways, and we're going to try one way particularly, where we're going to inhale for 4 and we're going to exhale to 6 through the nose, right? And I'll guide us for that for 2 rounds. You might exhale for 5 if that feels more comfortable, but it's going to be through the nose. And then the last place I'll take us is where we inhale through the nose, and then it's a very gentle exhale through the mouth, through what we call pursed lips. That can be very cooling and calming. And I want you to think about as you're doing this, well, I guess I want you to pay attention to the breathing, but these you can do wherever you're going. You can do them when you're driving. You can do them when you're doing laundry, when you're laying down before you go to sleep at night. It can be done there. Like I said, it's very portable. So let's take a moment here again, just kind of settling into realizing we're intentional and what we're doing. And plus, that uplift gives the space for the lungs to blossom and to bloom, and then allows them to go back down so the next time we have the fullness available to us. So let's just first take an inhale and an exhale through the nose. And then when you're ready, let's inhale 2, 3, 4. We'll exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4. And we'll exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And why don't you do that on your own for a couple of rounds? Allowing the body and the shoulders to relax into the chair more and more. And then allow your breath to just find its natural rhythm. Every exhale, imagining that parachute. Right, you're held, you're supported. And now let's try this next breath where we inhale through the nose and then you blow out through pursed lips. And it's just very gentle. It's just like a small leak, right? A natural release of the pressure cooker. And It's used sometimes with athletes. It's very cooling. Again, I invite you to be aware if low blood pressure is something that you work with. So when you're ready, again, let's take an inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And I'll just guide us one time and then you find your own rhythm. So here we go. Let's take a nice deep inhale and then slowly exhale. Finding your own rhythm, squeezing that air out all the way, making even more room for freshness. Maybe one more time. And then just sit and observe when you're all done. Allow your breath to go to its rhythm. Again, allow your glutes to be comfortable, allowing the chair, the feet, allowing the floor, the shoulders, allowing to let go. And if you chose to have your eyes closed, that's lovely. I'm just going to ring the singing bowl 3 times to just close out this breathing time together. And perhaps the metaphor, if your eyes were closed, you want to open them like window shades. The world is already out there greeting you, waiting for you, nothing to look for. And then maybe you find yourself wanting to move or adjust. So I invite you, thank you for your time. I'm aware we are over our time just by a little bit, but I invite you to remember the portability of your breath. And even if you just remember it one time and then another time, it's all good. And bravo for that. Your brain will thank you and your body will thank you. So a pleasure being with you all. And yes, well wishes on your way. Thank you very much.